Okay, everyone. So tonight we're going to talk about the compensation plan and helping everyone to understand all the different ways that we get paid with Plexus. So first we'll start out over here on number 1. And again, this page is your double-sided handout that I recommend that each of you have laminated or just saved in a handy spot, because on the other side of this is the PV, and I'll scroll down to that. That's this here, so that way you can tell the prices and the PV associated with that. And again, each price point and their PV. All right, so we'll go back up here to the comp plan and we'll go through that. Okay, so number 1 is retail commission. So the first way that we get paid is by the commission off of the sale of products, whether our own purchases or our customer purchases. This will be the total at the end of the calendar month. So from the time that you sign up to the end of the calendar month, or if it's not your first month, it would just be from the first of the month to the last day of the month. The total of all of your sales in PV, not in dollars, but in PV, which stands for personal volume, is going to be added up. We don't get paid on the first $100. That is going to go towards our pay points over here on number 7. So that pay points pays for the profit sharing bonus. And usually that first $100 is our own products. All right, so anything over $100, and we're considered commission qualified, 100 to $499.99, so just under 500, you'll make 15% on your total commissions. If you make 500 and up in commissions, then you get 25% there. So they'll take the first 100 and subtract that out of your total. So let's say you sold $500 for the month. They'll subtract out your first 100, and you'll get paid 25% of the $400, which is $100. If you only sold $499, then they're going to subtract out that first 100, and you'll end up with about $60. So if you're anywhere near that 500 mark, be sure to order up, because that added percentage can mean basically a free product if you're that close. Okay. All right. So that is your PV. And again, we are paid monthly for the majority of our paychecks. All of the commissions and most of the bonuses are calculated at the end of the month and then paid on the 15th of the following month. All right. Number 2, we get 5% commission on the total PV of our level 1 ambassadors. So if you have someone directly below you who sells $1,000, then that's $50 in commission bonus for you. Okay. All right. Then number 3 is preferred customer bonuses. So when you have a friend who wants to order from you and they have the option of ordering at retail or ordering as a preferred customer, again, not only does it save them money to order as a preferred customer, but you also get a bonus every month that they order from you. And those bonuses are based on each product that they order. So if you look along here, you will see that each product or combo has its own bonus. That is not a one-time bonus. That is every month that they order that. So if you have 5 friends ordering Plexus Slim, then you would get $15 times 5 for that month. If someone orders a triplex combo, then you get a $20 bonus for that month. All right. So you'll get the commission off of the order plus this bonus. Okay, and then number 4, this is when we get into our team building. So your business building, this is the one that you get paid weekly. So let's say that you have a friend who wants to sign up with you. The welcome packs that they can get that are optional, the $99 or the $199, half of the welcome pack goes to the company. And the other half of the price of the welcome pack goes to the 4 upline ambassadors above the new ambassador. Okay, so if you add your friend and they bought a $99 welcome pack, then you get 50% of the 50% that comes to the ambassador. So that's a total of 25% of the welcome pack price. And if they signed up, let's say they signed up this Wednesday, then you would get paid the following week on Friday in separate weekly checks for those. So they won't appear on your monthly commission check. This is how you can get a paycheck every week if you're growing your team. And then you'll also see first, second, and third levels above you would get a bonus as well. Okay, so if you've got a friend below you and they sign someone on, then you also get a small percentage of that welcome pack as well. Okay, and that also explains why you don't get PV on a welcome pack. Okay, we don't get to count that towards our commission because we're already getting paid a bonus off of the welcome pack. So when someone signs up as a new ambassador and they sell, let's say they sell $150 and their welcome pack was $100, making their total commission for the month $250, they don't get to get that PV of the welcome pack counted towards their commission. So they would subtract their welcome pack and the 100 for that first month. So a lot of people get confused, and I was even confused about that. So I just want to explain why we don't get paid PV for the welcome pack, because it pays a different bonus. Just like that first 100 pays this bonus. We are paid on these things. It's just a different area that it's paid. Okay. Number 5 is the rank achievement bonus. And let's look on up here at the different ranks so we can start to learn about that, and then we'll discuss how those bonuses get paid out. So when someone first signs up, you'll see here where it says associate. An associate is someone who did not turn on that auto qualification, also known as a backup order, on that second page of the sign up. So if they do not select one, they are considered an associate, which is essentially an inactive ambassador. We can't get paid without that on, or I should say the associate can't get paid without that on. So if they're going to be working the business, they want that on. If they're going to be ordering their own products of 100 or more, then it makes sense for them to have that on. And just remind them that you can help them shut that off if they get to a month where they don't want that auto ship to go off. All right, now an ambassador is a new associate who has that auto backup on, the AQ auto qualification on, and they get paid on the first level below them. So anyone they personally add, they can get paid on that person or people below them. Once they add 2 people, they move up to a senior ambassador. And a senior ambassador opens up the first 3 levels. So if you have 2 people below you, and those 2 people below you have added some people, you can also be paid points, which we'll talk about, on those first 3 levels, even though you've only added 2. All right, and then when you get to silver, which is an active ambassador with 3 personally added ambassadors below you, 3 friends below you, then you get a $100 bonus, and it opens up your first 5 levels, so you're paid on those 5 levels. All right, just to be clear though, in order to get 3 ambassadors under you, they all 3 need to be active ambassadors. And what that means is if it's the first month that they've signed up, they need to have that AQ turned on, the backup order on, and they need to have purchased a welcome pack or sold $100. If it's not their first month, let's say 1 is new, but the other 2 have been with you. The other 2 need to have their backup order on, and they need to have sold $100 or more. That would mean that they were active. And when all 3 of them have joined you and they're active, then you go silver and you get that $100 bonus. That is paid on the monthly paycheck. So if you go silver on the 15th of the month, at the end of that month, calendar month, you'll get paid that the following paycheck. Okay? So if you go silver in the month of May, your paycheck, that $100 bonus will come to you in your June 15th paycheck. All right. Then the gold ambassador receives a one-time bonus of $250. And I'm going to go through with you how you get to gold and what these two columns mean here. All right, so to go gold, you still only need 3 personally added teammates. And same thing with senior gold. So if I only have 3 people that I've added to my team, but those 3 people are growing their team and adding 3 people, it doesn't take long to where I have several levels below me that have grown. And my goal is to get to 100 points. And over here in the points column, you'll see, all right, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are points on your level. So if I add Suzanne to my level 1, then Suzanne is my first level, my level 1. When she's active and has sold her $100, then I get 5 points for her. If Suzanne adds Rachel to her team, then Rachel would be my level 2, and I would still get 5 points for her when she's active. If Rachel adds Sharon, then Sharon is my level 3, and I still get 5 points for her. So I get 5 points for anyone on my first 3 levels, and then the point value goes down as they get deeper down into my levels. But most of the time that you're going to be going towards your gold, you're still working out of your first 3 levels. So you need about 20 people to earn that 100 points. However, you also need 15 points outside of your primary leg. A primary leg is just the team member below you who has the strongest team. So if Mary is my strongest team member and she has added 5 people, but I have 8 other people, maybe one of them has added 1 or 2, I can add up to those 20 people in many different ways, but they want at least 15 points or 3 people outside of that strongest downline team. So Mary's team is my biggest in that case scenario. So I would need at least 3 people outside of that person. And this just keeps people from adding someone in who does all of the work for them. Okay, maybe they add, maybe a wife adds her husband and then adds herself underneath her husband, and the husband's not really doing anything, and the wife is building the entire team, and he's just riding off of her. But in order to get to silver, maybe he adds his mom and his sister, but he's still not doing anything. Well, he has to add 1 more person in order to go gold, because he can't just have 1 strong team underneath him. So this points needed outside of the primary leg just ensures that in order for someone to basically ride the ranks moving up, they still need to be doing their own work. All right, so going gold, you need about 20 people on your team. It does not have to be people that you personally add to the team. You only need 3 that you personally added. You could add all 20. There's no limitation to that, but you need a minimum of 3 that you've personally added. Okay, they need to be active. So in order to get those 5 points for that person, they have to have sold their 100 or ordered their own product if they're wholesale customers. They need to have ordered their product for that month. They can have their AQ turned off. Their backup order can be off, and they have that white line when they turn that off underneath you. As long as they've sold $100 for the month, you get your points for them. And so that's why beyond silver, as you're growing your team, you're going to be watching, and that's, you hear people talk about point stalking. They're watching those points because that's what helps them advance to the next rank. And that's why so many people promote on the 25th of the month, because the 25th of the month is when people typically have their auto ship go out, and that's what bumps their points up on the 25th. Okay, so as you see, Gold Ambassador gets a one-time bonus of $250, and Senior Gold $350, Ruby $500, Senior Ruby, $750. If you look back down here at number 5, you'll also see this number 6 here with the Fast Start bonus. So what this means is in your first 30 days, now we're not talking about a calendar month, they actually will calculate it by your first 30 days. If you go gold or higher in your first 30 days, they will double your bonuses. So if you go gold, not only do you get double the gold bonus, but you also get double the silver bonus. So you would make $500 plus $200. So you'd make a $700 bonus for going gold in your first 30 days. And that's what that is there for number 6. Okay. Number 7, we'll get into the profit sharing bonus here because this is really how you're going to make the larger paychecks. If you're looking to take this as your full-time business and be able to quit your day job and make those 5- and 6-figure a month paychecks, this is how you're going to get there. It's by growing a team and having these point bonus, this profit sharing bonus payout. Now, when you're first getting started and you only have 1 or 2 or 3 people under you, you only have a small amount of a bonus. So it doesn't seem like much, but let me explain how that can add up quickly. All right, so, and the example for this is on the Power of 3. So if you want to glance over at that Power of 3 handout, it'll explain how it can get that bonus number each month up there significantly. Okay? All right, so 5 points for each person that is on your team. You get paid a paid point bonus. These are your points. We've talked about that before. And based on the monthly profit sharing of the company, and they calculate that by how much they sell divided by how many ambassadors are in the company, that kind of thing. They take that amount and they come up with a pay point. It averages around $3 a pay point. The lowest it will ever fall is $1.80. So you will always get at least $1.80 for your pay point. Right now it's been averaging around $3. So they take that $3 and they multiply it by the number of points that you have. So if you're silver and you have 3 active ambassadors below you, that's 15 points times $3. So that's about $45 up for the month that you get as an added little bonus, okay? When you go gold and you have 20 people below you, then you multiply that 20 times $15, assuming they're all in your first 3 level, because again, it's 5 points per person times about $3, so that's around $15 a person. So that would be about $300 a month for an added bonus for someone who's gold. Let's say you grew your team and you had 100 people on your team. If you have 100 people on your team and you're multiplying that by 15, now you're getting $1,500 a month for a nice little profit sharing bonus. And as you continue to grow your team, you can see how that can continue to increase. So Celeste has about 25,000 people on her team, so you can see how she's getting a 6-figure a month paycheck because she's got such a large team. So eventually your profit sharing bonus each month is going to be significantly higher than your commission bonus. Initially getting started, most of your paycheck is going to be commission. And then you'll have some in your preferred customer bonuses as well. You may have a little bit in your commission bonus from your downlines if you have level 1, but most of it's going to be in this red area getting started. As you grow your team, you're going to start getting some of these green and blue bonuses over here. Okay? All right. Now, number 8, this is where we get into the emerald and higher. Okay? So you see here how the one-time achievement bonuses are only given through the senior rubies, and there's no one-time achievement bonuses for emerald, sapphire, and diamond That's because they actually get a profit sharing bonus monthly. So they don't get a one-time bonus. They get a monthly bonus. And what this is the company gives 50% of all of its profits back to the ambassadors every month. Okay, so if the company sells 100 million a month, and if they get a profit of 100 million, mind you, we're a debt-free company. So we don't have any debts to pay. So everything that the company sells goes back to 50% to the company and 50% to the ambassadors. Of that 50%, 5% is set aside for these pools here. Emeralds get entered into a 3% profit sharing. So if there's, let's say, 100 emeralds, they get that 3% of all the profits divided by 100, and they share that pool. The sapphires get to add on an extra 1% for a 4% pool, and then the diamonds get the sapphire plus 1% for a 5% profit sharing pool. All right, and the diamonds, there are only about 45, I think, so they get to share this really nice big pool among 45 of them. But as the company grows and that profit pool grows, it's still a pretty nice little bonus there. Okay, and then the other thing, don't forget, once you get emerald, sapphire, diamond, once you get emerald or higher, this purple area down here, they get a monthly stipend for a Plexus Lexus. So they're not given a free car, okay? We don't just get a free car. We get a monthly paycheck of an extra $500 for the white emerald Lexus. So we can go out and buy or lease, our own Lexus, and then they give us money to cover that the car payment. All right, and then when you get to diamond, you can get that black, larger SUV, and then you get $1,000 a month for that. All right, and the final way that we get paid, oh, and don't forget, they also get that free trip to Hawaii every year for 2. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, the final way, the 11th way that we get paid is the Diamond Reentry Program. So if someone makes it all the way up to diamond, they can actually recruit themselves back underneath that first position and work the business all over again, growing a new team. And that is how Celeste has gone diamond sapphire. She's sapphire on her second position underneath herself, and we are on her sapphire leg. Hopefully in the next month or 2, she'll be the first ever diamond ambassador, double diamond. But that being said, if I went diamond, I could then put myself underneath my first position. And now anyone that I add into my second position, that first position still gets to count all those points, because you can see that I would be my own level 1. So anyone I add under the second position would be my level 2 on my first leg and my level 1 on my second leg. So I'm essentially, in a way, kind of tripling my potential income. So that's a really nice thing that the company allows us to do that. Not all companies have that kind of perk there. In addition, you can add your spouse. Once you reach gold or higher, you can add your spouse on. So there are some couples who are, the husband and wife are both diamonds. I know Lori and Jetty Harrison are both diamonds, and Kristen and Jared Abart are both diamonds. And they've re-entered underneath themselves. So in effect, you could have 4 positions in one household. All right, so that pretty much covers the compensation plan and how we get paid. If you have any questions at all, if I didn't explain anything well, just let me know in the comment section. I'm also going to post some links to some additional videos. There's a couple leaders who shared some comp plan summaries, and I'll post those so you can watch those as well. So that is the end. Have a good evening.